A few days ago, I found out my fiancé was preparing to cheat. Her Facebook was open on her laptop and the chat window was up. She'd been messaging a guy who seems to live not far from where we live. The guy asked if she was into threesomes, and she said she was. A little further down, she sent him 3 nude pictures. These were new ones that I've never seen before, so specifically took them for him. He replied with his address and told her to let him know when she could come over. She said she'd check and get back to him. Further up in the conversation, there was talk about another guy. This must be the other one in their potential threesome. There wasn't anything in the conversation that hinted she was planning to shut it down anytime. She mentioned working around her schedule in a few messages, which tells me she was still figuring out how to make it happen. Things between us have been off lately. Not anything dramatic. There've been no fights or blow-ups, but she'd been distant, less affectionate, spent more time out of the house, and gave vague answers when I asked her where she was going. I brought it up once and got accused of being controlling. Over the past year, she's accused me of cheating more than a few times. She's gone through my phone while I was sleeping. She once told me she had a bad feeling and needed to check something. I've never given her a reason to think anything like that. I don't cheat. I never have. At the time, I thought maybe she was just insecure or overthinking stuff. But now I think she was projecting or covering her tracks. We'd been together for 3 years and engaged for about 7 months. We had deposits down on the venue and had even started narrowing down a guest list. I was committed. She said she was too. The stuff I saw on her Facebook said otherwise. I didn't confront her. I just told her I needed space and that I didn't want to move forward with the wedding. I didn't explain anything. She cried and asked if I was sure, and I told her I was. Since then, she's been trying to get in touch with me constantly. Texts, calls, even had a few friends reach out to ask what happened. She says she's totally in the dark and this isn't fair to her. I haven't answered any of her messages. I haven't told anyone else yet. I've just been sitting with it. This is the first time I'm telling somebody. What I saw made everything really clear, but the situation still feels unreal. It's hard to make sense of how she acted like nothing was going on. I've never even thought she was into such intense sexual experiences. She's quite mellow in bed and has a low sex drive too, which I'm fine with. I haven't decided what to do about the wedding plans yet. Right now, I don't want to deal with any of that. Just trying to get through the day without feeling sick. I don't know if she would have gone through with it. Doesn't really matter. She was halfway out the door already. Update. She showed up at my apartment yesterday evening. Just knocked on the door with 2 of her friends standing behind her. She said she needed to talk and that I owed her an explanation. I wasn't planning to see her, so I was a bit disoriented. At that point, I still hadn't decided how I was going to confront her, and I didn't want to have that kind of conversation alone. So I called one of my friends and asked him to come by. We all sat down in the living room. I told her straight up, I saw her Facebook messages. I saw what she sent, what she said, the plan she was making. I mentioned both guys. I asked her what was going through her head when she was setting that up. She didn't say anything at first, then said she didn't think I'd ever find out and that it wasn't what it looked like. She said it was a mistake and that she was going through some things she didn't know how to explain. One of her friends asked her if she'd really sent those pictures. She said yes. Claimed it was just attention-seeking and she was going to block him soon. Then she said she hadn't actually done anything with either guy. I asked her if that's supposed to make a difference. She didn't answer. She got emotional pretty fast. At first, she was remorseful and spitting out sorries. Then she flipped it and asked why I broke up with her without even giving her the courtesy of an explanation. She said I blindsided her and that she's been a wreck ever since. I told her that she lost the right to explanations the moment she crossed that line. She said she was going through a lot lately and didn't know how to talk to me about it. One of her friends asked why I didn't just come to her first. Maybe we could have worked through it if I'd given her a chance to explain. Said it was unfair to break off the engagement without a conversation. I told him I didn't need a conversation. She was coordinating times to have a threesome. What part of that needed clearing up? I asked her for the ring back. She said she didn't bring it. I asked her to get it and bring it back the next day. She said she needed some time. I told her I wanted it back soon. I spent nearly $6,000 on that thing. She didn't say she wouldn't return it, but she didn't really commit to anything either. They left after that. She's still texting saying she wants a one-on-one conversation and that I can't tell her family. I haven't responded. I don't know what she expects from me. I'm gonna have to tell our families of the reason for breakup. What does she think I'm gonna do? Not tell them to spare her reputation? Nah, screw that shit. Story 2. Cheated on my boyfriend and I need advice. This happened over the span of a month. It started one night after D&D. My friend came over and we had drinks. I was close to blackout and he was nearly sober. He tried to make me give him head and then fuck me. I panicked, ran out of the room and told him no. He went home the following morning with no further incident. We had to see each other once a week for a game we were both a part of. He would talk about it and try to kiss me and make moves on me. I told him on multiple occasions it couldn't continue, but he didn't listen. As to why I didn't leave the group and cut contact at that time, I don't have a good reason. Part of me liked the attention. Part of me was still hoping it would stop. Part of me was scared I'd lose the rest of the group over it. He would message me, flirt with me, and I participated. Part of me felt obligated because of what happened, but I also liked the attention. I felt guilty and dirty afterwards, and I should have stopped. I knew it was wrong, and I continued. I sent him pictures as well. Later, I organized a get-together. I had friends over, him included. We had drinks and hung out, and I assumed he would leave when the others did. He didn't. The following morning, he initiated. I let it happen for a time and then pushed him off and told him no. It was almost a repeat of the first time. I told him never again, and he went home without incident, but he kept messaging and talking about it. My partner found out by reading my conversations while I was at work. He kicked me out that same day. I asked him if I could fix me, would there be a chance for us again? He told me to fix myself first and we'll see. That's why I'm here. There's nothing I wouldn't do to try and save this. It's good that you're finally being honest about what happened, especially with yourself, but if you're serious about healing and possibly rebuilding anything, your focus needs to shift away from trying to get him back and toward figuring out why you let all this continue. You knew it was wrong early on, and you had chances to walk away, but you didn't. That doesn't make you evil, but it does mean you have work to do. Real accountability starts when you stop trying to fix the relationship and start working on what made you cross so many lines in the first place. If he ever decides to give you another chance, it has to come from a place where you've already done that work without expecting anything from him in return. Some comments. It seems like you have some very poor boundaries. The other guy was pretty much harassing you and you didn't stop contact with him. Don't really understand why you were flirting with him also. From your ex's perspective, you cheated. The flirty messages justify it. You need to get a counselor and figure out why you do what you did. To me, it sounds like borderline assault because of weak boundaries. He knew you would give it to him eventually because of weak boundaries. It was a motivator to him. I'm sorry it happened to you. Have you told your partner the entire thing honestly?